All right, here we are. This is how you scan a negative. You're going to go to the HP scanning software up here. After you log in, you're going to double click on it to activate it. You're going to make sure that the scanner is turned on. You have cleaned your negatives with a photo wipe and an anti-static cloth, and you have properly loaded your negatives into the scanning interface. From here, you're going to get this window as long as the scanner is turned on. You are going to change your settings here because you want to set some custom settings. So you are going to scan type. Here I'm going to select negatives because that is what you were scanning. You are going to select your output, which is going to be grayscale. You are going to save your file here, your scan to. We're going to say save to a file. We're going to say JPEG is the image type we want, and then save to file options here. JPEG is what we want, and then this is going to tell us where we're going to save it. I'm going to browse, and once you set this up once, it should be set up by default for your login. I am going to look for the desktop here. Oops, there it is. So I'm just saving mine to the desktop right now. If you want to, you can search for your H drive, which is right here. This is my H drive. I can make a new folder in my H drive, so I could find one that says photography here, if I have my photo work in here somewhere. So you can go ahead and do that. I'm just going to save mine to the desktop right now. So here it's showing me users Horvath desktop. I'm going to say OK. And then if I want to save this as a shortcut, I can click on Save to Shortcut, and I can actually give it a title. And I called mine Black and White Negative Scan, so you just type that in there and hit Save. I just hit Cancel, but I had saved mine because I had set this up ahead of time. So that's my link here. So I'm going to hit this. I'm going to say Scan. It's going to take a moment for the scanner to warm up. Here we go. So it's going to preview. And then you are not going to make any adjustments in the scanning software. You are going to wait and use your Photoshop program to do that. So go ahead and we're going to scan the raw images right here. So it's just taking a minute as it's reading. All right. Sometimes you just got to wait. We're waiting. It's thinking. There we go. I can hear it moving over there. Sometimes the first time they use it as well, the scanner has to warm up a little bit. There we go. So now it's going to scan this list, like so. And then it's going to give me previews of my images. So you can either use the computer's suggestions, or you can change those previews if you want to so that you can scan them. I would say at this point, the more you scan at one time, the slower it's going to go. So I would just choose 1 or 2 negatives to scan at a time, and you'll be better off. All right, so here's my preview. Give me a second here. There we go. So I can see it building them down here. So these are all my previews. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this little square to activate it to see how this one's moving and these aren't. I'm going to say delete selection, and I'm going to say yes. So that deletes that selection here. I'm going to select this one. I'm going to say delete selection. I'm going to say yes. And I'm going to delete this selection right here for now. Yes. All right, so then I'm going to make this one a little bigger because it's missing some of the picture, like that. And then if I want to add a new selection, I can click on this and I can do 2 at a time, but otherwise I'm just going to do 1 at a time here. Everything looks good, and I'm going to say finish. And what it's going to do is it's going to scan it, and then you can see here I have a collection already on my desktop. I'm going to save it on the desktop. And if you save it to the desktop, I'm just going to prepare this while that's waiting, is I would go to my computer. I would go to my H drive, which is here. Okay, I'm going to make a new folder, and I'm going to call it Photo Scans. And then I can just collect these from the desktop. And I'm going to throw them right in Photo Scans right there. And that's it. So now I can go back to my computer in the computer lab behind me, and I can open them up at that computer, and I can use them. I can put them in my Google Drive. I can open them in Photoshop. I can do whatever I want. So here you can just see it's going to scan it, and you'll get all the way to the end, and then that will appear here on the desktop. All right, and we'll wait. I don't know if we need to wait for the whole thing here. We're just waiting for the bar to finish filling. So we're waiting. A lot of waiting involved. And as I said, as we're waiting, so when you go back to that original interface, if you saved it as a shortcut, you should be able to just click on where it says black and white negative scan or whatever you title it each time you come back to this computer, and you should be able to just scan right away. And we're waiting. There we go, and it appeared right here. There you go. So that's my negative. And you can see it takes me back to this interface. Here's my shortcut that I saved, and I'm ready to scan some more.